Hey, what's going on, guys? Welcome back to Brass Monkey X. So, today we're working on Project Starling again. We're going to be doing our final assembly here, put the last couple of pieces on, and we're going to go ahead and lubricate everything and get this gun ready for test firing, okay? So after today, this gun will be ready to go. It'll be a functional firearm. We'll just have to get it out to the range and put a few rounds through it and, test it out. But as always, before we assemble anything here on this channel, I'm going to roll in my disclaimer. I don't want any trouble with YouTube. Alright. So now with that out of the way, let's go ahead and get started here, guys. So we're going to start with our lower receiver here. Okay, we have our completed lower. Now, what you want to do is, let me turn the light on for you here. So what you're going to want to do is, you go ahead and put it on fire, okay, and you want to drop your hammer. Now, you don't want to dry fire this like a savage and just smash it up against this here, because you could damage the hammer, you could damage the frame, you could damage all kinds of stuff. So just go ahead and put your hand over the hammer, pull the trigger, and slowly release that, let it up like that. And let me show you what we're going to lubricate, okay? If you look down in here, there's a couple of springs, okay? Right here, the trigger spring. On either side of the hammer, we're going to put some oil on both of those springs. Okay. Then down here by the sear, there's a couple of smaller springs. I know it's harder to see. The camera won't really focus. But we're going to go ahead and we'll put some oil on the spring on either side of the sear. And then what I like to do is I put a little bit of oil right here on the hammer itself, where the sear and the hammer connect to each other. And then put a little bit of oil on the sear too. Okay. So let's just go ahead. I'll show you how I do that. Now, what I like to do is I like to use a Q-tip. Okay. I just put a little bit on the end of the Q-tip here, a little bit of oil. I always use my Hops number 9. It's my favorite brand, guys. Stuff works great. And then we're just going to get down in here, like I said, right there on the springs. Just go ahead, rub it in a little bit. You can be generous with it. It's all right. If you ask me, you can never have too much oil. Go ahead and get those springs next to the sear. Then right here on the hammer, where the hammer and the sear connect. Let's get a little bit of lube on there. And a little bit on the sear itself. And that's really all there is to it when it comes to how I lubricate my lower receivers. You don't really need lubrication anywhere else on this thing. So why don't we go ahead and move on to the upper receiver here. We'll get this lower out of the way. All right, now, with our upper receiver, if you have a situation like mine where you have a brand new barrel, okay, what you're going to want to do is, I went ahead, I did this off camera because I didn't want it to be too redundant. You guys don't want to watch me run a patch down this barrel 6 times. So I took some bore cleaner and I ran it down the barrel. Because with this brand new barrel, you don't know what kind of residue is left behind in there from the manufacturing process. So you want to clean it out real good before you go ahead and lubricate it. So like I said, I ran a patch down there a few times, cleaned it out, used the bore cleaner. I used my Hops number 9 bore cleaner. And we're ready for lubrication now on here. So I find that when you're doing a 223 or a 556, even some 22s, what you're going to want to do is, if you have patches like this, they're probably going to be too big to fit down the bore. So I just go ahead and I cut them. You just go ahead and cut it in half. Okay. And then you're just going to cut it one more time. So you're going to cut it into quarters. Okay. And that should be a good enough size to fit down the bore. So what we're going to do to lubricate the barrel, very simple process, guys. And anybody who's ever done any kind of firearms maintenance before, you know how to do this. Just take your patch, you're going to put it on your rod. Just like that. And go ahead and put a nice liberal coating of oil on the patch itself. But we're just going to run that right down the barrel, okay? Sorry, this camera angle is a little rough. Let's put it right here in the back of the receiver. Run it straight down to the barrel. Now we're just going to go ahead. We're going to push this through until it pops out the other side. And there it is. Go ahead and pull our patch out. Pull our rod back through. And that's all there is to it, guys. The barrel is sufficiently lubricated now. And let's see, pretty much the last step, we want to lubricate the inside of our upper receiver here. Now I like to use, like I said, I like to use a liberal amount of lubrication. Okay, I like to oil it up real good so that there's no issues, nothing's rubbing, and everything's running real smooth. So we're just going to go ahead, get our Q-tip again. Nice coat of oil on there. Now, you want to get way up into the top of the receiver here, okay? Make sure you lubricate all that. That's where your charging handle is going to go, okay? And you want your charging handle to run real smooth. So, just make sure you get a lot of lubrication up in there. All right? So we lubricate up top, come back in, put a little more oil on here. And then we're going to get the rest of the receiver. Okay, you want to hit all the sides of the receiver. Everywhere where your bolt carrier group is going to be rubbing. Okay, where the bolt carrier group is going to reciprocate and it's going to ride against the receiver. You want to have lubrication in there. Okay, so lubricate the hell out of it, guys. That's my theory. I'm not too worried about it because I like to clean my guns often. Okay, anytime I go to the range, it doesn't matter. If I put one round through this thing, I'm going to take it home and I'm going to take it apart and clean it. So I'm not worried about over lubricating because after every use, I come in, I clean it all out, and I re-lubricate. So that looks pretty good there. One more thing in here, guys. Okay, I know it's a little difficult to see. You want to lubricate your feed ramps too. Okay, right here. And right here, there's two of them. Let's go ahead and get those nice and lubricated. And if you can, put a little bit extra lube right here on the front of the chamber. And we should be pretty good with that. Now, next step, which we haven't gotten to yet, is the final installation. We're going to install our bolt carrier group and our charging handle, okay? So once again, like I said, I like a lot of lubrication. So I'm just going to go ahead and take a pad here. Put a little bit of oil on the pad. And we're just going to run this right here over the bolt carrier group. Make sure you hit every piece of this thing. I've seen guys get brand new guns. They're not lubricated properly. They take them out to the range and they just don't function. Nobody wants to be disappointed and take their brand new gun to the range and have it not work. Same thing with our charging handle, guys. Nice liberal coating of oil on there. Some people may not agree with me. They may think it's too much oil. I really don't care. This is how I do it. It's how I've been doing it for years, and it's always worked. So, all right, guys. Now that everything's lubricated, we're just gonna install our bolt carrier group and our charging handle. Okay. All right, we're just going to take our charging handle, slide that up in there, get our bolt carrier group, slide that in, then push them all the way down. There you go. That's it. Now, we're going to put our upper receiver back onto our lower receiver. Okay. Now, before we do that, one more time, I like to come in here with the lubrication. Okay. Get our oil. And right here on these lugs, okay, I want you to put a little bit of oil inside of there. Okay. The front and the rear. Okay. That's where our pins, they're going to go through there and they're going to hold together our upper receiver and our lower receiver. We want to keep that nice and lubricated. We want to keep that nice and lubricated because those can get real tight sometimes, guys. So we're going to lubricate the lugs, and then on our lower receiver, okay, we're just going to go ahead and put a little bit of oil on the pins themselves. Okay. Make sure we get that front and the back pin. We're going to go ahead. We're going to mate up our lower receiver and our upper receiver. Okay, just like that. We're going to go ahead and push our pins through. Our front pin, then our rear pin. Pull back the charging handle. Make sure everything's functioning. As you can see, nice and smooth. Okay, put it back on safe, and we're good to go, guys. Oh, you know what I forgot? One more final step here. We're going to go ahead and we're going to use our Hops number 9 lubricating gun oil wipes. Okay. Go ahead and pull one of these out. Wipe down the whole outside of this firearm with it. Okay. Go wipe down everything. The plastic, the metal. Put some nice coating on everything. It protects, it lubricates. These things do it all. I love these field wipes. And you go ahead and wipe down our hand guard. Get a barrel here, muzzle brake. Flip it over, get the other side. And there it is, guys. Completely assembled. Ready to go. I know it looks all wet. Looks like there's a lot of oil on there. In about 10 minutes, that'll be all dry and it'll be fine. But yeah, there she is, guys. Project Starling. Ready to go. Ready to take her to the range. Try her out. I'm pretty excited to do some range videos. I haven't gone to the range yet with a firearm and recorded anything. I have a few firearms that I want to get to the range before I take Project Starling there. Okay. I got that Savage Fox Model B that I still got to test fire. I got a Ruger 5.7 I want to take to the range, try that thing out. I haven't tried that out yet. So there are a few videos coming up before I take this one to the range. And there will be one last tabletop video for Project Starling. I'm going to do the benchtop banter on it. We're going to do an overview, talk about all the parts I put into it, how much everything costs, and it's basically just an overview with a gun. But if you want to stay tuned for that, that'll be coming up soon. I'm going to do the benchtop banter on it. But yeah, that's it, guys. That's all there is. She's assembled. She's ready to go. She's looking good. I am very pleased with the way she came out. I mean, it's exactly the look I was going for, that M16 Vietnam era look with the A2 stock there, the triangular handguard. It's got the carry handle on the top. I mean, it came out great. Oh, I almost forgot. the magazine, my old GI magazine that I have for it. Put that in there, complete the look. And no, I'm not going to be refinishing that magazine. I like that it looks all beat up like that. I think it gives it some character. But yeah, if you want to see how we took this 30-round magazine and made it compliant here in New Jersey and made it a 10-round magazine, there's a video on that. If you go back and take a look, we installed mag blocks on that. So that's an interesting video if you want to take a look at that. If you happen to live in one of the states like I do where you can't have a 30-round mag. But yeah, that's it for Project Starling, guys. She's all assembled. We're good to go. So thanks for watching, guys. I really appreciate you watching. The channel's cruising along now here. We're getting new subscribers every day. I mean, we still don't have that many, but you know, it's a work in progress. I'm excited about it, guys. I really like making these videos for you. You know, hopefully my content can help some of you guys out, or at least just entertain some of you guys, you know. But again, thanks for watching. I really do appreciate it, and we'll catch you next time, guys.